What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Just Your Average Teach podcast. Today, I have a new guest with me today. It's one you haven't heard from. It's someone I've gotten close to over the past year. We are getting ready to go to AEW up there in Champaign, Illinois tonight, and we're both very excited about it. We're going to talk a few things about kind of what's kept us busy over this past year, how we've gotten close, our love for wrestling, as well as what he's done in the past involving wrestling. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and let my guest right here introduce himself, and if you want to just go ahead and take it away.
Hi. Hey, I just wanted to say you're a fucking liar. You just edited that out. That was a real awkward hi.
That was a really
That was really fucking
yeah.
awkward, wasn't it?
No, it was, but hey, no, that's the type of happens, you know.
Well, I'm Spencer. I'm TJ's good friend, his best looking friend.
We happen to look the same.
We do. We're twins.
You're saying that, yeah.
But not like the weird sexual kind of twins. We don't do that, right?
No, not yet.
No, we do. He's lying to you.
So, like I said, we've gotten closer this past year, and that's been through our paramedic program and everything. That's been hell, hasn't it?
People trust me with people. That's scary.
Yeah, again, if people listen back to my previous episode, you'll realize why I probably shouldn't be in charge of this type of stuff. But it is what it is.
So, TJ's right. We are going to Champaign tonight to watch wrestling. We are big wrestling fans. I've been involved with wrestling more in different ways, more than just being a fan, though.
I've only ever been a fan, so it'll be nice to kind of get your different perspective.
That's right, bitch boy. I'm just kidding. I'm the bitch, not you.
Oh no, trust me. But so let's talk about your past there. What's some of your earliest memories involving wrestling in general, and then kind of how you got to go into professional wrestling?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Absolutely.
He was the fucking best, dude.
Yeah.
Back when WCW, and then he came into WF and became like the guy that just say fuck your boss and then stun him, like
stunning everyone, beers everywhere, you know.
That was the best, dude, hands down. That was like my earliest memories. And then watching wrestling, and then my dad wrestled for like 13 years on the independent circuit. Really didn't make it that big, but he made a name for himself. Traveled across the Midwest, Chicago. He had an opportunity to go to Puerto Rico. It didn't work out like they wanted, so that never happened. But he made a name for himself in this area. And then when he died, that's where I came into the picture.
Yeah.
Literally after they were sorting everything after he died, the boots were given to me and all this stuff, and then I was just kind of like, "Hey,
that's an awesome story.
You gonna do something with it?" And I was like, "I guess."
Yeah.
Because that was the situation. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was like, "Okay, cool."
Kind of honor your dad there as well, to kind of continue on his legacy there. So, what was? Do you remember your first match going into it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So how I got to get into pro wrestling. Was I trained at a school called IWA Unlimited. It was located in Albany, Illinois. Now it's located in Noble, Illinois. But when they were in Albany still, my dad's friends, they're the ones that actually ran the school. So I went down there, and this guy named Homicidal Stephen Davis, his real name's Jay. So I go down there, and he's, how can I put it? He's different.
A little strange.
So,
there's a reason why he's got the name Homicidal.
Yeah, so I go over there, and of course he remembers me from being younger because I always rode the road with him. I was always there, and he says, because that's how he talks. Hey, I think we could do something with this dead dad thing. What do you think?
Oh goodness, no.
He did.
Oh.
But I joke about that. You're around me. Yeah. So I was like, all right, Jay, I think we can. And then everybody just kind of was a little offended, except me at the time. I didn't. I was just like, what? What just happened? Oh. Okay. So that's how I got right into this. It christened me up. I went down on Sundays and Wednesdays and I trained. Probably not the normal regimen like what other people who are going through training school, but I've been around it most of my life.
Yeah,
man.
you already had kind of the experience and all inside knowledge.
I was just christened up, and my first time, I got my ass kicked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was okay though. It was worth it.
It's your first match. You can't really expect to go in.
It was what it was. Me and this guy, Homicidal Stephen Davis, I give him a lot of credit for me starting up earlier. I was only around wrestling professionally, 5 years. Had to get out. Mm-hmm. Had a kid. Had some neck issues. But I give him a lot of credit because he actually brought me out of my shell, and I became who I became because of him.
Yeah.
And Josh Todd's another guy down there who's a trainer. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have done half the stuff I did, or been able to do things like that.
And it's always nice to kind of recognize those people that have kind of helped you along the road.
It is, man. Like I said, I've seen them. I backed out of wrestling in 2017, July 7th, was my last match. And I went back earlier this year and I seen them, and they were just like, we thought you were dead. And I was like,
oh,
yeah,
God, really?
Yeah, like, I mean,
Oh.
they didn't think I was dead, but
Yeah,
like, we
but
haven't
yeah.
talked to you in like almost 2 years. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's because of a reason. I mean, I just...
Yeah, I kind of got out of it, you know? I mean...
That, and man, my head's where... This is where my head's at. If I can't do it, I have a hard time being around it.
Yeah.
I love that sport so much. I gave so much to it. I mean, shit, my wife almost divorced me twice. Like, no shit because of that.
Yeah. And from what I hear, it's really hard to... It's
hard
to do.
It is, and it's hard on your body. I mean... I'm still dealing with neck issues because of it. I still get numbness and tingling in my hands as I hold up my hands, showing you like everybody can see.
No, dude, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
No worries.
But like, I mean, I still have some issues in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
My hands go numb. I get lots of tingling in my hands. It's just shit that I'm still dealing with. My body's been a lot better because I'm not being thrown onto concrete floors or getting bashed in my head with a steel chair. Or, you know what I mean?
I think one of my favorite memories that you've told me of your wrestling experiences was the one time you kissed a dude in the bar.
Yeah. So we did this match down south for a company called Strictly Insane Pro Wrestling. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to share this podcast, so I hope my friends listen to it. So a guy by the name of Cash Borden, me and him, we had some really good matches. I mean, different places. We traveled together. We put on some really good matches together. And so... we were working this angle down at Strictly Insane Pro Wrestling in Crossville, Illinois, and we did a bar fight spot. So, bar fight spot is where basically we're sitting in two chairs, and we hit each other back and forth.
Oh, goodness.
So, we're hitting each other, and he says, we got to do something else. I said, okay. So, my brain, I'm like, what can I do? And other people's brains are like, oh, like, what about a kick or something? And I was like, I'm just going to fucking kiss this dude. So, what do? I said, all right, Cash, and it hit me. I'm like, I'm going to fucking kiss this guy. So what do? Cash, he hits me, and I just rear back, and I go, okay, I'm going in for it. And I blast this dude with a fucking kiss.
No.
Crowd was like, ooh, you know, because down there wrestling's still real, and if you're gay, they don't like you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's the South.
And I say this, and I am not homophobic at all. We have, my uncle's gay, like, we're gay, we have gay friends. Down there, they call you fag, and that's what it is. Like, I mean, that's just how it was back in the day.
They're very hateful down there.
Yeah,
I mean,
and so I had a fag chant going at me, and then I kissed him after that, and Cash was just like, what the fuck? And then he punched me really hard afterwards. But we did the same spot, like, probably 2 or 3 nights later, different show, and it got the same reaction. It was the fucking best.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure getting the crowd kind of reacting is probably one of the better feelings you could get out there.
Dude, it is. I mean, that's the best feeling in the world is when I can have this crowd in the palm of my hand, and then I can just fucking crumble my hand, and it crumbles them. I can bring them up so high. I can get that good guy looking so good, then I can just fucking cut that good guy off and make him, and just fucking get the crowd to hate me. That's the best part.
I would say just over this past year, I've kind of noticed that you are probably really solid on the mic. That was probably one of your better things, wasn't it?
Yeah, that, and for people who do watch wrestling, my selling. I am fat. I'm not the best looking guy out there. I'm not 6'3", jacked with a body. So there's not a lot a guy like me can do to really, stand out in this business.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really good at, like, my facial features. I can sell. I mean, my kid can hit me in the stomach and you would have thought I died. And she's like, oh, Dad, or however she talks. She doesn't talk like that. That's terrible. So I had that going for me, and then I just started, like, trying to get better on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end, I thought I was pretty darn good. I mean, I can cut a hell of a promo. Kid-friendly or not kid-friendly, I can cut a hell of a promo, whatever you need at the time.
It's all good.
So, yeah, honestly, man, I got better at cutting promos by cutting promos in the shower. I would cut a promo every day in the shower.
Oh, really?
Like, every morning, kid you not, and then I'd cut him in front of the mirror. Or if I was at work, I'd sit and talk to myself, and people probably thought I was fucking weird.
I mean, it's one of those things, like, I remember when I was younger, and I always had an interest of going into it. Man, I would try and cut promos. I'd do the Triple H spit up in the air in the shower, like...
Dude, I don't know, man. Wrestling was just one of those things that I got to be me, and no one got to judge me for it. And it was probably one of the best feelings in the world.
So, if I remember correctly, your name was the Golden Boy in wrestling. Was there? You had a few different names?
So, I had a few different names. When I first started out, I was Spectacular Spencer Wallace.
Oh.
And that was a name that was given me by a good man named Walt Barron. Walt Barron is a promoter, a guy that's helped a lot of guys in this business get to where they are now, and I give a lot of credit to Walt too, because Walt gave me opportunities no one did. And then it went from Spectacular Spencer Wallace to the New Age Animal Spencer Wallace. So my dad and my uncle were known as George Animal Jr. and George Animal III, paying homage to George Animal Steel from the 80s from WWF.
Okay.
So I don't know really what got to that point or how I got that name. I think that was me and a couple buddies just sitting around, and I was like, hey, how does this sound? And they're just like, yeah. You know, probably not sounding the best. And I think about it, I'm like, I probably could have came up with something cooler. Like, I don't know, just something cooler than that, but it worked. I got my name out with that. I got to travel. I mean, that name got me to, by that name and me busting my ass, I got to travel to Wisconsin. And wrestle up there one weekend. I mean, I got to travel a little bit because of that. But it's not because of the name. It's because of the hard work that I put into it. It's because of the people I knew, too. Everybody says, oh, you got to work hard. Yeah, you got to work hard, but it's also nice to know people.
Yeah.
Because they can put in a name for you and try to get you other places.
Yeah, you get your kind of like, hey, you know, this guy's been killing it down here. Why don't you see what he's got up here for you and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, so, after a while, I kind of just, like, I took a break in, like, 2016. I had a really bad concussion, and me and my buddy Justin had our blow-off match at another company. It was a Fans Bring the Legos death match, and it was fun.
Did you say Fans Bring the Legos?
Yeah, Fans Bring the Legos death match.
Oh, wow.
That's what we did. So it was fun, but that was kind of I'd been suffering I thought I had post-concussion syndrome. It wasn't that, but I just wasn't feeling good. And Justin was the same way, so we both were like, listen, we'll do this match, and we're both done for a while. So that's what we did, and to be honest with you, at that time off, it's like, well, I'm going to leave you if you don't quit. So that was part of the reason I quit, too.
And always good to kind of keep family around, you know.
Well, and I told her I'm not quitting. I said I'm just taking a break. And she's like, oh, no, you're done. I said, oh, no, I'm not. So I went back. A few months later, I got talked into coming back because I was feeling better. And I just went by Spencer Wallace. And then, I don't know, I had some spark of brilliance one night, probably while drinking. Then I'm like, man, I'm going to dye my hair blonde. And it was a real shitty blonde. I was like, I'm going to get a fake tan. And
it looks like a platinum blonde.
Dude,
though,
it was a real shitty blonde and
like
a real
Hulk
shitty...
Hogan type blonde,
yeah, that's what
know?
what I was going for. And then a real shitty fake tan. And
I didn't notice the tan on there.
Yeah, dude.
On your
Yep, it was a real shitty fake tan. And then I was like, man, I'm going to call myself the Golden Boy. And I did. I was Golden Boy Spencer Wallace. And my character was just like some 80s coked out wrestler. And I had so much fun with it, though.
Oh, knowing you, like, the goofier it probably was, the better you felt as doing it, you know? Dude,
it was fun. I didn't have a care in the world. And that character ran all the way up until I left IWAU and left the business. But, I don't know. I had a lot of... How can I put it? So, IWAU, let's go back there.
Yeah.
So, that company I give a lot to because they helped bring me up. I also got to learn another side of professional wrestling that I never thought I would know, and that was producing. Mm-hmm. So for probably 10 months, I produced internet TV.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
So we always talk about the video editing stuff. Like, that's where I learned that, and I didn't have any training. They're just like, well, here you go. Have fun with it.
Really?
And I was like,
wow.
Yeah, fuck.
Just kind of threw you into the wolves there.
Oh, dude, it was terrible at first.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to learn video editing on my own here for this channel. It's been a nightmare. I can only imagine what you're trying to do with deadlines and trying to get all the right angles and do all these shots and everything. So,
a gentleman by the name of Brandon Walker, he wrestled for you. I mean, he wrestled with my dad, so they have history. We've always had history with that family. Guy's an amazing guy. Well, he produced like 11 years of actual TV wrestling in Kentucky.
Wow.
So, he was like, hey... The promoter down there at the time at IWAU really wasn't wanting to do much, and it was just kind of getting stupid. No one wanted to do anything. Everybody just wanted to do what they want, and it's like you can't build a professional wrestling company on that. Brandon seen something in IWAU. I seen something in IWAU, and my friend Lumpy, or known as maybe Frank Wyatt, he's seen something with IWAU, something that we could build. It. We could make that another territory like it was back in the 80s. We could have made it TV like what old NWA was back in the day. Because our building that we have there is set up like a TV studio. It's awesome.
That sounds awesome.
It is. It's awesome. So we decided to take the reins. Brandon did the booking. Lumpy helped with that, and then I was just like, hey, here you go. Here's all this. Here's the cameras. Here's the editing software. Here's a computer to edit with. They went and bought me a computer to edit with, which I was happy.
That's dedication there.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I started doing that, and we started out just doing like episodes with no commentary because I was just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then we started doing 2 angles. And that was awesome. When I had a camera guy down there, I was able to do 2 angles. If not, we just did basically a top shot from our balcony down, and we filmed the shows. But it was awesome we had another dude there because we had a roaming camera, and I could put 2 angles in there. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm going to buy a microphone with IWU money, and let's see what happens. Well, then we started adding commentary to it.
Oh, that would have been awesome. I'd love to do commentary sometime.
Dude, it's awesome. I grew so much, though, just from doing that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have not seen my house, but you know the town of Greenup.
Yeah.
I live in this small-ass house. My buddy Lumpy's like good 350, and Brandon's a big boy, too. So I would have them in my laundry room, in this small-ass laundry room, probably about as wide as from your desk to her desk. I kid you not.
Oh,
That's the room we had, and we cut commentary on Thursday nights.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
IWAU Uprising was uploaded on Fridays or Saturdays, depending. I think towards the end we were doing Saturday mornings, just kind of like what was Saturday morning wrestling back in the day.
Yeah. The Saturday night heats and everything.
Yep. And then we did an episode. We did a show every Tuesday called Turnbuckle Tuesday, and that was just old matches that had been filmed that no one had used, and I'd go through, and if we had time, we'd cut commentary on them. If not, just throw them in.
Oh, that would have been really cool.
Yeah. It was fun. I learned how to photo edit out of that too. I made a lot of cool shit, man.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. That sounds awesome. So let's go back and talk about some of your days when you were wrestling. I saw that on your Instagram. You also had got some gold there. You won some titles.
Yeah. How can I put this? Titles are cool, but remember how can I put it? In the business they don't mean shit.
Yeah.
A title might help you in that company look good, but no matter where you go, it don't mean nothing. I didn't care if I won a belt. I was there for if somebody needed to drop the belt to me, I could be just their carrier until they found someone different. Mm-hmm. So, IWAU is a good place. I never held gold anywhere in another company besides IWAU, and I was fine with that. I knew I wasn't their guy. But they said, hey, I have an idea, let's run with it. So we ran with it. I retired their club championship, that's what they called it, because IWAU considered themselves more of a club than anything else, so they had a club championship. I retired that club championship, and when we started doing IWAU Uprising, I brought in the Uprising title.
Okay.
And that was like, oh, hey, look what he did.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I got to help design the belt, and it was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was fun, man.
So, but in your opinion, what do you think is the best belt that you've seen? Like just in general, the championship belts that you've seen in history. I mean, out of anywhere.
I'm a real big fan of the old NWA US belt.
Oh yeah.
I liked watching Tully Blanchard a lot, and he always had that title. I always thought that was real cool.
We might see him tonight, too, over at AEW.
Yeah, Sean Spears, man.
Yeah.
So, that was probably one of my favorites, was the old NWA US title, or the TV title, I apologize.
I know for me, my favorite was like the early 2000s WWF Intercontinental belt with you had each continent on the side of the belt and the oval shape. That was my favorite. I know a lot of people shit on it for some reason, man. But
no, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, everyone shits on Biker Taker, dude. Biker Taker was the shit.
Biker Taker was fucking awesome, dude.
I will die on that hill.
I'll tell you what, any man that comes out to Limp Bizkit's pretty badass.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, fuck Limp Bizkit, but any man that comes out to Limp Bizkit's pretty cool, man.
Just keep rolling, man, you know?
You know, he should have came out to Nickelback. I would have respected him just a little bit more, though.
Just look at this photograph.
That would have been terrible, but it would have been great.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah. So let's talk a little about AEW. I mean, it's a new company that this year that's kind of came out of, the Young Bucks and Kenny and Cody and all that stuff and Tony Khan. I mean, in your opinion, what do you think it does for wrestling in general? Do you think it gets more eyes on there, more opportunities, or?
So, I just want to start off by saying this. Everybody, fans, the boys, everybody always bitched about not having an alternative to WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Everybody always complained, oh, there's just one big company besides Impact, which Impact has been a lot better here recently since old leadership has left.
Yeah.
But everybody wanted something different. So AEW came out on the scene, right? They started out with All Out, right? That was the first one in Chicago.
All Out.
drew 10,000 people, sold out within minutes.
Thank you, Dave Meltzer.
Yeah. They did an All Out 2 or whatever, right?
Yep.
And it did, All
like
In
that,
2,
yeah.
and it was awesome. Yeah, All In was in English. That's bad. I can't remember.
Double or Nothing was next after that.
Yep.
You know?
And, I mean, dude, they drew, so they started doing TV. It's cool because Marco Stunt, who's on there, I've got to share the locker room with him at a couple smaller indie shows.
Yeah.
So getting to see guys like Marco, there's a guy named Matt Nix that was on there last week from Chicago's episode.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago. I've got to meet him a couple times at shows. Yeah. Just it's cool to see boys finally and girls finally getting their due. Because I mean, Marco Stunt, you look at him and he's small.
He wouldn't be in the WWE. He'd be like a next.
You think they signed? No, someone finally did, and now he's getting like his credit. He's going out there each week, showing his craft and like how good he is, and that's awesome.
Dude, and I love the Jurassic Express, man.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus, Marco, and Jungle Boy, you know.
It is. Like, look at Joey fucking Janela, dude.
Dude, please don't die, Joey,
Yeah,
you know.
he's awesome. I've watched him since he first kind of started getting popular on the indies, and now to see him on TV, and now we're going to watch him tonight against John Moxley.
Dude. Oh,
well,
this was
it's going to be the main
CZW.
event on national TV. Exactly.
In a small university town, too. It's not even...
I don't think Joey Janela would have got signed by WWE. If he did, that'd be surprising the shit out of me, but I don't feel like that was his place.
No.
I feel like it's his place to be at AEW. Something they're going to give him the reins and let him be him instead of trying to be a fucking storybook character. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Janela is Joey Janela, and that's how I see it.
Yeah, it's like Darby Allin. Like he'd be made to be some sort of almost like he'd be like another dead man wannabe, you know.
He'd be another fucking Kevin Thorne, which
Thorne
was good. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but like this is perfect.
Yeah,
they're getting their chance to be them and show what they can do on national TV, and I think that's phenomenal.
And of course, we can't talk about AEW without talking about the ageless wonder of Chris Jericho, the youngest AEW champion that there ever has been.
Dude, he is another guy. Like, if you go back and look at his early stuff, from his stuff when he started coming down to the States from Canada, working for Smoky Mountain Wrestling for Jim Cornette, which I don't condone Jim Cornette's opinions about things. Yeah, but I can respect Jim Cornette for the stuff he's done for this business. But seeing him bring Chris Jericho and Lance Storm down, I think they're called the Thrill Seekers when they were in Smoky Mountain, and then his transition to ECW, and then his transition to Japan and WCW and all the crazy shit he was doing, working in wrestling in Mexico and traveling around. Now look at him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
he is like still, no matter what, I don't care how fucking old he is probably one of the hottest dudes in pro wrestling today, and not mean like hottest, but like.
He'll draw.
He will. He puts asses in seats.
Dude, and like
like Brock Lesnar. Everybody shits on Brock Lesnar, but guess what? He still puts asses in seats.
And at the end of the day, that's a big thing. That's what you want, you know. Like he puts asses in seats. He sells the merch, like a little bit of the bubbly. Hell, he's selling champagne right now. Like
I'm okay with that. Like that's cool to me, dude. And I mean, people might listen to this, my wrestling friends, and shit on me because. Oh, he's just being a mark. I'm a fucking mark, dude. That's what it is.
I'm a fan. Like
everybody in wrestling is a fucking fan. No matter if you were 3 years old watching that shit, or if you're gonna be 80 years old still in front of the fucking TV, you are a fan first. I was a fan first, then I became a wrestler.
I mean, I'm sure even some of the wrestlers are still fans. I mean, I'm sure they still mark out.
Dude,
on some
fuck
things.
yeah. Like that's the thing is like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I hate when people are like, oh, you're just a fucking mark, bro. Yeah,
who cares?
Dude, I'm a fan. That's what I am.
I'm here to boo you. I'm here to cheer you. If we see MJF, I don't know which one I'm gonna do, but man, dude, he's got it.
I'll fucking kiss him. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, Saw the Earth getting kissed by the Golden Boy. Oh, but yeah, I don't know. I like what they're doing there. It's a different creative route, I feel, than it is with the WWE. And it's one of those like, oh, are you AEW or are you WWE? You can be both.
Motherfucker, I'm both.
Yeah, you
like,
can be both.
I love watching NXT still. NXT to me is probably the hottest thing out besides AEW. And Tommaso Ciampa is the fucking man. Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa, those guys. Yeah, Finn. Dude, what they're doing now is fucking awesome.
Dude, I just want to say I loved how NXT got over at Survivor Series against Raw and SmackDown. Like, that's awesome.
And no matter what, everybody says, "Oh, wrestling's dying." Wrestling is fucking thriving right now. Oh yeah. You look at this, all the shit on the indies that are making it. Impact is fucking totally 180 and turned itself around.
Dude, Japan, like New Japan, is even getting massive here in the States now, which is awesome because up until 2-3 years ago, I had no clue what New Japan was. I just when I heard Bullet Club, I'm like, what's this Bullet Club thing, you know? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, this New Japan stuff. Who's Tanahashi? Who's Okada? You know? And I thought that was awesome.
It's just wrestling's thriving. And I think it can only go up from here. Yeah, there's going to be some fucking shitbirds. There's going to be some shitty times in wrestling, but that's it. No matter
it's
what.
It's just like anything. You're going to have your ebbs and your flows, your ups and your downs, man, you know?
But, I mean, right now, people are getting opportunities out there.
Yeah.
These guys that wouldn't get opportunities by WWE are now getting opportunities by AEW. As much as I disagree with Ring of Honor's views on things, Ring of Honor, I mean, the way they treat their talent, they're getting bigger. But some of the way they treated their talent, I'm not okay with.
Yeah,
it's kind of shitty to fire somebody that's on leave with a head injury.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I remember reading about that and going, ooh, that's not cool.
That's a bad taste in somebody's mouth, and I don't think anybody should deserve that. But I mean, wrestling's growing, dude.
Yeah. And the stuff they do now, and the way they tell stories, like I remember the ladder match with the Bucks and the Lucha Bros. That Canadian Destroyer off the top rope through the tables. Dude. Oh my! I thought they killed him.
Everybody, like I said, some wrestling's not for everybody, but I don't know, man. I love what's going on in the wrestling business right now. I think things are growing, things are booming, and it's cool to see guys that wouldn't get a shot finally.
And, like, I know you and I are probably the same way where, that Mid-South territory wrestling, the talking and the hard-hitting, like that's what we love. But you can also enjoy that flippy shit, too, Everyone's like, fuck flippy shit. And I'm just like, no, dude, like, you got to have the Bucks, but then you also have to have, like, the MJF and the Jerichos that do the nit and gritty and talk and draw you into the charisma. Like you said, they hold them in the palm of your hands,
The flips and dives ain't for everybody. Back in the day, a high spot's not what considered a high spot was now.
Yeah.
A high spot was like a second rope elbow drop, or honestly, a drop kick was considered a high spot. That was flashy. They're doing a lot crazier shit than they were doing in the 90s, that's for sure.
Can you imagine, like, someone in the 80s is seeing Hangman's buckshot lariat? Like, could you imagine?
Or Canadian Destroyer in the 80s? Someone would have fucking damn lost their mind.
Oh yeah, it would have been ridiculous.
I mean, my style of wrestling, I prefer the older. I like the new stuff. Love the new stuff. I'm an older fan because I grew up on that older shit.
Yeah, I mean,
my dad had tapes of like Smoky Mountain, NWA, old WCW, old WF. That's what I grew up on. But I respect all the new stuff. They're doing shit that I couldn't do, and that's cool to me. I also love deathmatch wrestling. That is probably my favorite too.
That's one thing New Japan gets right is their deathmatch wrestling, man. Let me tell you. But no, like, I mean, my dad, I remember growing up, Jerry Lawler was his dude. Like, he grew up in Memphis, so Jerry Lawler's like a legend down there, as you know.
Yeah, and like I said, I was a big fan of the Four Horsemen back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about them. They were an awesome stable. Yeah, but, I mean, I love deathmatch wrestling. People shit on deathmatch wrestling. I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, and just like you said, like, tonight we're going to see Mox and Janela. Like, that could be a main event anywhere you go.
That could be violent, and I hope it is.
Yeah, but please be safe, but get bloody.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for that. I'm excited. Like, we're going to see Shida tonight. Like, the women's wrestling there is actually being taken seriously, too, which is nice.
And it's improving. I love women's wrestling. I'm glad it's doing now. At first, the first couple matches with AEW, I thought the women's wrestling was kind of rough.
Yeah.
But it's a new company.
Yeah, it's a new...
You know what I mean? They're new faces. You don't know them.
You gotta get that chemistry together and everything.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's awesome to see these women from Japan that we don't know are coming in here and getting opportunities, and it's cool to see, like, Nyla Rose.
Yeah.
That's something you don't see, man, and that's awesome.
Or Riho, Riho. Like, I mean, Riho would be nothing in
Nyla
WWE.
Rose is a fucking beast.
Dude, I want to see a Nyla Rose versus Awesome Kong match. That would be...
Dude, I think they're teasing it. They're getting, like, every time they get a little bit...
Get a little closer, yeah.
It's going to happen, and I hope Awesome Kong kicks the shit out of her, though.
Dude, I remember watching Awesome Kong in TNA.
Yep.
And just, she tore everyone apart, man.
She did. I remember her nip slip that was on. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at my uncle's house in Charleston, and she gets thrown over the ropes and like the fucking shit, and I was like, "Oh my god, Dad, I see the boob," and he's like, "Yeah, dude, everybody just seen that boob. Chill out. It was a boob."
Yeah. You know who really needs to come in and revitalize AEW women's roster, right? Santina Marella. that was probably the biggest joke that I ever saw, and
something is that dude can actually wrestle.
Oh,
He's actually a hell of a talent to have and they shit on him like that.
Yeah, like, and I know one thing I saw on Twitter recently was, why don't we just get AEW and WWE? Let's just put them together and let's make dream matches together. Well, let's not have this WWE versus AEW versus New Japan. And I wish it could be like that, because could you imagine like Adam Cole going up against some people in AEW, or like the Elite getting back together, and just all that stuff.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, it won't ever happen though, because that's how those companies make money off each other. They fight against each other.
Yeah.
And as much as they say, "Oh, we're not competing," they're competing for ratings. They're competing for merch
demographics
sales.
and merch.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
Yeah.
But that's what I love, because that means when NXT's gonna step its game up,
AEW
has to step their game up, or New Japan and Ring of Honor, you name it. Who's ever gonna step their game up, they're gonna bring it up, and that gives better wrestling. They just can't blow their whole wad at once. I mean, it might take time, but they're gonna do it, and it's gonna be awesome.
I'm still holding out hope that we get to see the villain tonight. I don't think it's going to happen, especially since he signed up for the final battle. No. But, I mean, it's just one of those, like, could you imagine just, you had the Inner Circle run down, and it's just like the Elite, and they're missing one member because Hangman left. And
that would be cool, but here's who I want to see him with.
Okay.
Butcher and the Blade. They made their debut last week with a bunny.
That would be kind of cool.
Just think, they fit that aesthetic,
yeah,
right?
the black and leather. And...
Dude, just imagine if he fucking shows up.
Oh, dude. If he shows up, I might honestly just go streaking.
Yeah.
I
will be hard. Very hard.
Oh, my God. I'll be with you. It'll be okay. But... yeah,
it might be an awkward ride back for you and your old lady.
No, it'll be fine. No worries there. But...
it's a pants off party. Hey.
Gotta get. Yeah, I'm a
okay, so let's switch avenues here a little bit, TJ.
Okay.
All right. So you asked me some questions. I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Oh, I like this.
You sure?
Yeah, let's do this.
It's gonna get real down and dirty.
Oh God, I don't like the face you're making.
I don't either. It's terrible.
Okay, let's do it.
My wife would puke.
Okay.
All right. What's your earliest memories of wrestling?
I think right now my earliest memory, like watching it for the first time, or being in an arena and watching it.
Either or both.
The first time I remember seeing wrestling was when Triple H came back from his quad injuries at the Garden, had the jean jacket on.
He was a fucking badass.
Dude, I just remember just hearing it, and that Triple H is my favorite wrestler of all time. So that's what really made me go, holy shit, I love wrestling. This is awesome. And then just him beating, I think it was Kurt Angle, he beat the shit out of and everything. And, that was just an incredible thing. And then the first time I ever saw a wrestling match was actually up in Champaign at the Assembly Hall. It's one of those local shows they did.
House show?
Yeah, the house shows that WWE did. And to tell you how old this was, Kane still had the mask and the red flame.
That's
the
awesome.
single, I remember seeing him. I saw Brock Lesnar back when he was the next big thing was coming up. I saw Stone Cold. I saw The Rock, and to me that was awesome. And then my dad, my first, in between that time, he gave me an autograph that he had from Jerry the King Lawler, on a piece of paper that he saw me at Denny's at Fort Wayne, Indiana, one day. They went to go to a Monday Night Raw at Fort Wayne, Indiana. He just happened to see him there. He's like, "Hey, King, I grew up in Memphis, blah, blah, blah," and he signed it. He goes, I remember sitting there yelling puppies anytime a woman wrestler came out. And then
Jerry Lawler was a pervert, by the way.
Oh, yeah, still is. But
oh, yeah.
But then, I remember I had to stop there for a while because they had a bikini mud bath match there on Raw one night. My mom's like, "You're not watching this anymore."
He says he had to stop, aka means he had to go to the bathroom. And
oh, no. My mom's like, "No, you're never watching wrestling again."
Come on, Mom. Quit cock blocking.
And then, a little while, I was able to get back into it. But by that time, the landscape had changed. There was no more Stone Cold. I think the next time I watched was probably WrestleMania 25, I want to say. Right after that, I stopped from about 05 until WrestleMania 25. I had so much to catch up on, And I remember because my buddy TK, he used to buy all the wrestling paper. He used to buy all the WrestleManias and everything. So I came over one day because he's just like, "Hey, have your parents drop you off." And I got there right as the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match was starting. And God, that made me love wrestling all over again. So, that's probably what...
So, here's a question for you. If you're a wrestler, what would your character be?
Oh, see, okay, so I've always wanted to be, cause I hate to say it, I'm way too nice of a person in real life. Like, it's ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd want to play just the biggest, cocky, arrogant dick I could. Because I feel like that'd just be so much fun. And the laughter would just be me enjoying the character so much. I'd just be this smug little prick that everyone would hate. You know, like, I almost want to picture, imagine MJF and Ric Flair mixing together. You know, you had that cocky arrogance and then the just strutting around, like...
I could see you being, like, a big playboy, like, fat boy type.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the arrogant, like, I'm skinny, but yet you're not.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And the fans would hate you, like, oh, I'm skinny, baby. You just eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see it.
I think I'd just walk up and be like, listen here, you fat piece of shit. And then everyone'd be like, wait, hang on, what? Like,
exactly,
you know, like, yeah,
exactly.
Just something like that, you know? And, like, I don't know. I'd love to be a heel. I'd also love to be in, like, a tag team. I feel like that'd be a great, like, you know, just something you can feed off with somebody, you know?
I think I feel the Chunky Boys forming.
A little bit of IDV going.
Yeah, a little IDV.
Oh, that was a great time.
That was.
But slow, wide, and bizarre. But, no, I mean, you know, it's something I've always kind of, like, I've always wanted to do. Now I think I'd be great with, you know, with doing something like this. I'm comfortable now with a mic in front of my face. I'd love to do, like, a commentary thing or being, like, a manager or something or, like, a ring announcer, you know. I think that'd be cool. But just something to be where I could just be, you know, I'm so nice in real life and I try to be at least, but just to be a smug, arrogant prick for a while, just for like that 35 minutes or whatever, and just like, oh, you can go fuck yourself. Oh, there's nachos? I remember I eat piss out of those nachos earlier, you know, like, you know, just something like that.
So, who is probably your overall favorite wrestler, TJ?
Of all time, for me, it would definitely have to be Triple H. Just something, the hair, the mustache, the Motorhead playing in the background, you know. Evolution was awesome whenever that was there. Right now, I'd have to go with Kenny Omega. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the gamer personality in me and everything. God, I've got I got a favorite in each one. Like, over in New Japan, it's Jay White because he's got that, you know, the heel. I love heels, man. Like, if you're a heel, man, I'm automatically drawn to you, you know. AEW, it's probably Omega or Hangman, you know. And NXT, it's Finn because I just love Finn. I remember watching a lot of his entrances and just, like, going, holy shit, who is this guy, you know?
See, what I liked about Finn, before he got signed, he did all the characters. Like, he started doing... Like, he was the joke. He dressed up as the Joker. I mean...
The real rock and roller,
yeah, like,
you know?
And that's what they're allowing him to do in NXT, is become that character he was before he left the Indies and New Japan, and it's awesome. So I would have to agree with you. NXT, it's probably Finn, and it's probably Tommaso. Tommaso, to me, is a guy that was told... if you look back through some of his interviews, Ring of Honor told him he's not going to be a lead guy anywhere. He's not going to be that guy. You know, they offered him some shitty contract deal when his contract was up before he went to the Fed, and he said no. And he set out on the mission to say, hey, I'm going to prove you wrong. I am going to be that leader. I'm going to be that guy they want to pay hundreds of millions of dollars for.
And look at him now. Like, you couldn't stop him. He came back from injury bigger than ever.
He has built himself in that character, in that setting, and he is awesome. He's a leader. That's what he is. So I would say Finn and Tommaso for NXT for me. If I had to go AEW... I'm just going to go and say the whole Jurassic Express because I think it's cool as shit.
Did you listen to the Talkers Jericho of Luchasaurus on it?
Yep.
Dude, that was awesome.
I would have to say that Joey Janela is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I do love it. I don't really have anyone I don't like on the roster.
They have a good roster. And I probably have to say I really enjoy Cody.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, and I also I really enjoy MJF, and I really hope they do some.
The fact that he's our age is insane. You know, like, he's my age. Like, and I'm younger than you, but not by too much,
I'm fucking old as shit.
You're not old as shit. What, you're 27?
27. I'm 27.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's just so much that offers, and it's just amazing.
Dude, I love what they're doing with the Fiend right now. Did you see his new belt?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool. You know,
he's probably one of my favorites on main roster. I'd have to say the Fiend, and you know I really don't know who else. I like Buddy Murphy just because of his style.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the cruiserweights.
Rusev is still one of my favorites.
Rusev,
I love Rusev. I don't like the fact that he's getting cucked on national television right now.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, no.
Braun's probably one of my favorites just because he's the fucking man.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the way it was just, all right, you guys ever hear about this cocking thing? Yeah. Man, no, I'd let Bobby Lashley cock me, you know?
Yeah. I'm Vince McMahon.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, you know... Or like
you're fired.
Exactly, you know. Actually, I showed Mai today.
Did you show her what cucking was? Is that
no, I didn't show her cucking.
That's some real weird porn you're into, dude.
She didn't believe me that Donald Trump was in wrestling.
Oh,
at one
bro,
point.
Wrestle fucking Mania. Look it up.
No, I showed her shaving the head and everything.
He says, "It's huge. It's huge. I'll be there. It's huge."
She's like, why didn't Hillary just go, hey, here's my rebuttal. He was in WrestleMania. Like,
I'm just gonna say this. Fuck Hillary Clinton. I better not. She might kill me.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll pray for you. I'll speak at your funeral.
Pray Satan. Hopefully she won't kill me.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's just one of those things where, you know, like wrestling, I just remember when I was younger, that was such a cool thing. You know, like I remember watching Chris Benoit, or playing the SmackDown versus Raw 2006 and everything, you know, like.
You know, try watching him now. He's dead. It's just his family.
Oh, dude, come on. Like.
Okay, that's terrible. I mean, it really is a tragedy what
Yeah.
happened. I think if Chris would have had better mental health, if Chris wouldn't have been on steroids, I mean, it could have been a number of things. But hands down, he is one of the best in this business, and no one can take that away from him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I still, like, I wish things could have been different, but they didn't. It turned out, the news came out of what happened. But, I mean, he is still one of my top favorites.
Dude, it was just so sad to lose Benoit, and then like a year later almost, you lost Guerrero.
Brother, we lost Guerrero before we lost him.
Oh, did we lose? Okay.
Eddie died before, because that was part of that.
Oh, yeah, because I
downward
remember
fucking
Benoit was.
spiral.
Yeah. Dude, like, I remember, I think that was one of the few matches I turned into to watch it. I was just like, what the hell's going on? You know, because, like, I hated JBL, man. But, like, again, like, when I think of heels, like, if I wanted to, like, that's the type I'd go after. Like,
Dude,
that's.
JBL was one of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said some shitty shit, did what he did. But that guy made it believable.
Yeah, like, but like when I think of like a heel persona, I'd want to follow like a JBL's one, you know, like just rich, the affluent, the I'm better than you, you know, there's nothing you can do. You guys smell like shit. I need to go take a shower now after just even standing here, you know, like, dude, I remember just listening to some of his promos were awesome.
Like I said, man, wrestling is amazing right now. And I don't think anybody can take anything away from it. And if you try to, then you're just being a fucking douchebag, because everybody's preached and bitched and moaned because they want something different, and we give them something different. Oh, it's not what we wanted. Well, what the fuck do you want then?
Yeah.
Because we're giving opportunities. AEW signed the first ever transgender wrestler. That is fucking awesome.
Sonny Kiss?
Sonny Kiss?
Yeah.
Nyla Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, my thing is, I don't care if you don't believe in it. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just
No,
saying for people out there listening, like, if you don't believe in it, that's fucking cool.
But wrestling's for everyone.
But wrestling's for everybody, and don't shit on it. You know what? They're trying to change the game.
Yeah.
And as much as people say, "Oh, they're just fucking WCW dying," you know what? Fuck you. At least someone's trying. They're not sitting behind a fucking keyboard.
Yeah, right. Like they're going out there and trying to
yeah.
actually change the universe.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
They're and they've changed everything. Like you even look at WWE. I've noticed a massive change in their production and how they're writing and storyline because they had to. They couldn't sit there and do nothing because they were going to lose.
AEW's first week of TV beat NXT's first night on USA.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was a given because it's something different.
Yeah.
But, yeah, numbers may not be as well with AEW on TV as compared to NXT.
Yeah, I think the past 2 weeks, the NXT's won. But that's fine. Because guess what? You're just right off Survivor Series and everything.
But it's still something there for everybody, and they're still making money.
Yeah, and it's a cup of tea. Everyone has their own little, like, oh, I want this flavor versus this flavor. You know, if you want the more predictable storylines, I feel, you know, or the more, I don't want to say generic or basic, but like the more homegrown storylines, WWE's where it's at. But if you want unpredictable, man, like, AEW's where it's at,
But everybody, you gotta remember too, though, and I think you understand where I'm coming from with this, is like, NXT and Raw and SmackDown are two different things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You have main roster, then you have NXT.
Yeah, you
and
got Triple H's brainchild and Vince's hands and everything, you know? Like.
And NXT is so much better than what Raw or SmackDown. And I wish they would have brought back guys like Ricochet, Aleister Black, the Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Like, would have brought those guys back to NXT because they had some of the best fucking matches there. I think the Revival would do awesome back in NXT right now.
Don't ever forget that at one point they were called the Viking Experience.
Yeah.
What a terrible name.
That's fucking terrible.
Oh.
Well, these are the Viking Experience, guys. That's a shitty name.
Hey, we're gonna call these guys the Viking Experience. It's gonna be so over. This is such good shit, man. Yeah.
No, fuck that.
No, it was terrible. Should have just kept the War Raiders, you know.
Exactly.
Could you war.
Dude, here's one thing I want to see. I want to see the Revival leave WWE and come to AEW just because of Arn Anderson. I want to see a stable with them. I think that'd be fucking awesome.
Could you imagine? Like, finally, they could just say, fuck the Revival.
Yeah.
And be the Young... Like, dude, that'd be... Like, that's something that's always made my lips salivate and chop, is the Young Bucks versus the Revival.
Imagine this stable. The Revival, Cody Rhodes, managed by Arn Anderson.
And then you gotta throw in Terry Blanchard there as well. Maybe get Shawn Spears mixed in there as well.
No? You could.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Or hell, add Hangman Page.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a Barry Windham, except a lot better.
Yeah.
You have like a 4 horsemen.
Yeah, and then just with Arn Anderson leading the way, man, that would be incredible.
Dude, fucking awesome, right?
And, dude, so I love the fact that it's Jim Ross and like my childhood announcers and
My God!
My God, he killed him. As God was my will.
My God, I got Bell's palsy.
I was watching. I went to the store.
That's terrible.
That is. I went to the store Monday night, I think it was, and I turned on my car and I had it on 98.9 for just sports talk, and they're playing the Illini basketball game, and you know how thrown off I was whenever I hear Jim fucking Ross is announcing an Illini basketball game. Like, I was so thrown off.
My God, he made a bucket.
Oh, look at that slam!
It's a pass. It's a pass.
I was so thrown off, and then I had never heard of what's his name right now, the other guy,
Excalibur.
I'd never heard of Excalibur before.
So Excalibur was a wrestler that wrestled out in California. You've heard of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla or PWG?
PWG.
So he is the owner of PWG.
Really?
Yes, he owns that, and he also does commentary for it. So Young Bucks got their big start back in the day. PWG, that's how people found out.
Yeah.
I mean, they got their name out on the indies. Don't get me wrong, but PWG and Ring of Honor. That's how everybody found the Bucks.
Yeah. Dude, I always forgot the Bucks were in TNA there, and they had that amazing match against Motor City Machine Guns.
Generation Me. What a fucking shitty name, though.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, though. But the Motor City Machine Guns, I miss those guys, you know, but now we get to see LAX or Santana or Ortiz, Pride and PowerPoint, you know, I miss those, dude. Those guys were the shit in TNA back when AJ Styles had short hair and Samoa Joe came out.
Back when AJ Styles looked like a lesbian. That's what I say.
No, I think he looks more like a soccer mom now.
He's got the soccer mom look, but he was looking pretty lesbian back in the TNA. He said, "Hey, I'm here." That's what he said.
God, who else was in there that, you had Samoa Joe that was there, CD, who we're going to see tonight,
CD, Christopher Daniels, that's who we're talking about, just so if you people don't understand, not cross-dresser.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so one of my favorite characters that Christopher Daniels done, he also did it in Japan, he also did it in TNA, was known as Curry Man. So if you look up Curry Man, that character was just so fucking awesome. The mask, the whole get-up was awesome.
Well, and then he had that suicide gimmick. You remember that?
He did suicide for a while. Caleb Conley, who was an NXT or a TNA talent for a while, and he's on the Indies. He's from North Carolina area. That's who does it now. Okay. But I mean, T.J. Perkins was one time. He also did this suicide gimmick, or turned into Manic, which was a fucking stupid name.
Again, there's been some bad names out there.
Well, there's been the suicide gimmick is it's TNA's whore, because everybody had it at one point in their life.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, man, it's worked. It's gotten people over, though. That's the crazy thing,
That's true.
It's one of those, you get the suicide gimmick, you're about to be that next guy. I wish EC3 was doing better. Speaking of TNA, people who are the guy.
EC3 right now, from what I understand, is out with a head injury. He had back concussion.
Is he? Okay, see, I hadn't heard anything.
But still, he went from doing something on NXT's TV and pay-per-views and being awesome to getting fucking jobbed out, which, if I was in his position, I probably wouldn't care if I was getting jobbed out on TV or just made it look like shit, because I'm still fucking clearing a paycheck.
Yeah, I'm still clearing a paycheck, and I'm still... eventually at some point, all that jobbing is going to pay off. It
is, and whether it be with WWE or somebody else, it'll eventually pay off. I wish they would do him better than what they've done, because he's a great talent, he's a great hand. But, I mean, I guess that's up to Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that kind of hope comes back to NXT. But, I know one thing you and I have talked about is going to a WrestleMania at some point. I think that'd be I know we talked about trying to go this year, but with Meta Class, there's just not a chance.
We're getting fucked. That's why we can't go.
Dude, my asshole's still so sore. But, hey, one more semester, man. That's
what we got. We got practicals and then one semester. Yeah, I'm hoping we can go next year, man. Not this upcoming year, but the
like
year
2021. You know,
Yep.
like let's see, or maybe they have like a pay-per-view near here for you
Yep.
know, like I know they had Survivor Series up in Chicago. Maybe AEW does
Yep.
something or WWE because
I hope they come to St. Louis. I really hope they come to St. Louis sometime soon.
AEW.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they did like a triple or nothing there. You know? But I think that'll be still out in Vegas because I think that's kind of.
Yeah.
I think the two places they'll definitely do are Vegas and Jacksonville.
So they are like one of the only AEW is one of the only people to sell out the MGM area where they were at.
Yeah.
Like about anybody. I mean, it's a couple of celebrities have, but only sporting event wise, from what I understand and what I've read, they were like the only ones to sell that thing out.
Besides the hockey team.
Yeah, besides hockey, you know what I mean? Other celebrities. But that's pretty cool for a sports entertainment group like that to come in and sell that fucker out in like minutes, dude.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like 35 minutes they sold that out. You know, like I feel like if they're gonna do like a WrestleMania outdoor type thing, it's gonna be in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be at the TIAA Bank Arena field.
Imagine like a Bash of the Beach or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, as long as they don't do the finger poke of doom.
Or Road Wild.
But like another thing I remember, you said Road Wild. I'm back to the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
You know, like.
What a rush!
Exactly. Yes, that's all. Like I remember, my uncle. He was massive into wrestling. So he had the Jeff Hardy, the Matt Hardy, Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels DVDs, and he had the Road Warriors. I'm like, who the hell are the Road Warriors? You know, and
only like one of the fucking best tag teams of all
the,
time.
Yeah, well, but I'm fucking like 8 or 9 at the time. I don't know. Like,
oh my god, guys, who are those? I don't know. My name's TJ.
I'll eat my entire ass.
Yep. Oh, I think you're a Lady Stern.
Yeah, I think so. Oh well.
Yeah.
she you know, not oh well. She's just been laying around. You know, she's not feeling the greatest. So. But yeah, I mean
the fucking Road Warriors, man. Back to what we're saying about that. It baffles me you didn't know. I mean, even at age like 6, I mean, I fucking knew the Road Warriors were. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit. You know. Oh, I'm TJ.
Okay,
I'm
boomer,
not.
you need to
Yeah.
calm down.
Whoa. All right, millennial.
Well, I'm triggered now. You can't be doing that shit.
I'm triggered.
Oh man, but no, like so. Let's go down this AEW card. Let's see who we think is going to win. So we got Mox and Janela.
All right, that's probably gonna be the main event.
I got Mox.
You got Mox?
I got Mox.
I got Janela. Just cause
You got Janela winning. Yeah.
Just because he's my boy.
I understand. Like, I want Janela to win, but like the way they're booking Mox towards Jericho.
You're right. Mox probably win, but dude, I want Janela.
My heart wants Janela.
Yeah.
You know, I want the bad boy to win.
So he's a bad boy.
And then we got the Bucks and Dustin going against the Inner Circle.
I'm going for the Bucks and Dustin just
You're
because
going
I'm a Dustin Rhodes fan. The natural Dustin Rhodes.
I love the Bucks. I love Dustin. But man, I love what Sammy Guevara and Santana Ortiz are doing. I'm gonna go with the Inner Circle on this one.
All right. We're split. We're split again.
We're split so far. Then we've got what else? Are the other matches we've got CD versus Pentagon.
Okay.
I gotta go CD.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm with you on CD.
I love SCU.
Yeah.
I love CD. Then we got Trent versus Phoenix.
Trent beat Phoenix last week.
I'm
gonna go with Trent again.
I'm gonna go Trent again. I think Orange Cassidy gets involved somehow.
I hope he's there.
Oh yeah, dude. I love Orange Cassidy.
I hope Chuck Taylor's there. I fucking love Chuck Taylor. I love you, Chuck Taylor. If you listen to this,
dude, if Chuck Taylor.
I want your babies.
If Chuck Taylor listens to this straight up.
Okay. Everybody listening, you yourself, you need to go on YouTube and just type in like best of Chuck Taylor from IW Mid-South, and like, do you know who Tracy Smothers is?
Yep.
Okay. Like, he does some shit where he's trying to be Tracy Smothers, and it's the best. Like, you need to find it.
And then, like, I wonder what announcement's going to be made with what Jericho's going to announce, or what Cody's going to announce, or Awesome Kong and Brandy.
And I'm hoping there's more matches. I know we'll probably be there for the filming at Dark, too.
Yep.
So, like I said, I don't know, man. It's going to be fucking awesome, though.
Yeah, I'm going to pause real quick. Or not really pause. I'm going to kind of kill time while I try to figure out what the hell matches are going on tonight, because I am on their Instagram right now.
He's on their Instagram straight flexing.
Straight flexing on. Yeah, something like that. Let's see here. So the other match we have is Chris Statlander versus Sheeta. Now, I love Sheeta, dude. She's been killing it lately.
I think Sheeta's probably going to get the win.
Yeah, I think Sheeta will probably get that win as well. I'm curious on what dark matches are going to be, because like I'm just looking at, like, last week they had a dark match of Shawn Spears versus Sonny Kiss. I thought that was awesome. They had Brandon Cutler, who's one of my favorites right now, dude. I love Brandon Cutler, against Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just one of those, like, who knows what they're going to have on the dark
Sonny
side.
Kiss is probably one of the... I like Sonny Kiss a lot. just the moveset, everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, as well as I had no clue who Sonny Kiss was going into, and I saw him like, well, that's different. I like that, like.
Here in the Indies, there was a trio called the Viking War Party. Jake Parnell, Alex Rudolph, and my buddy Frank Wyatt were all part of this trios. FIP, which is another like subsidiary of Evolve, which is all under the WWN banner. FIP ran this trios tournament, and so the Viking War Party got to fight a team that was made up of Sonny Kiss and a couple of the guys.
Oh, really?
Somebody Frank got to wrestle Sonny Kiss.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yep. Weird story, but off on tangent. It was just something cool, you know what I mean?
Like, I'd love to see like a Hangman or a Mega or Sean Spears. Like I feel like he was so underused there in WWE.
Dude, NXT, that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
They go to the main roster, and they have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
And they sit there and they rot on the shelf, and it's terrible.
Yeah, like Robert Roode right now.
Yeah.
Like dude's got all the time.
Good old Bobby Roode.
Or like even Drew McIntyre hasn't been doing a whole lot since his. Shane McMahon killed his momentum though. Like let's be honest there.
And that's why I say I wish those guys would come back to NXT.
Yeah.
Because they would have something.
Yeah, and then if Vince is wanting to be AEW, I know they said the big rumors are they're not worried about AEW. You're telling me they're not worried. If you bring back Finn Balor, you're a little worried.
Yeah, you've got to. They have to worry about something in that aspect because it can change, man. It's happened before. WCW beat them in the ratings before. AEW could potentially do it again.
Yeah. And, absolutely.
I really feel like that people have to step up. Both talents have to step up. But they've got to draw crowds too. There's some pictures posted of like WWE's events. Where like they're taping off half the crowds for camera and blacking them out because they're not drawing crowds.
Yeah.
Same with AEW. Last week I guess AEW didn't draw as well in Chicago.
Yeah.
Which it happens.
It was Thanksgiving as well. I was looking tickets today. They had like a few hundred left. Like and they're all upper bowl, so it doesn't matter. Like those lower seats, they're gonna be packed. Like it was all upper bowl. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, and I was even looking. I think they said somewhere like they had less than 500 tickets left. That's awesome for a new company to go into a small town like Champaign and get you're only missing 500 tickets. That's a win. They're
still making money off that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope this isn't the last time.
The amount of money they're gonna do in merch.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's good.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, me and girlfriend, we each got new T-shirts and everything. I'm sure you're gonna get a T-shirt or a hat tonight.
I am tonight. That's the goal.
Who do you think? What are you gonna go for?
Probably gonna get an AEW hat because I like to wear hats. And shirt wise, I'm not really sure, man. I
can see you going for like Janela or.
I could. I'm hoping to go there, and if one speaks to me, I'll buy it.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about getting a little bit of the bubbly T-shirt and wearing that to our practical next week. And
just,
boy. Get a little bit celebratory.
Like I said, I'm not sure yet, but I think I'll find one that fits me well tonight.
All right, yeah, well, it's gonna be a fun time, that's for sure. And I said we just kind of get off here and let's get ready to get on the road and head out on there.
All right, man.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you guys quickly for listening to all this. I'm sure Spencer wants to thank you as well.
Balls and wieners.
That was Spencer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for listening. What do I do with my hands?
Okay, Ricky Bobby, touch yourself. You're.
Am I supposed to? Hello.
Oh my goodness, we're definitely gonna do this again sometime for sure.
Yes.
I can't do this. We're too much alike for this shit, man.
Thank you for listening. This has been a TJ recording.
Again, guys, thank you for listening. Thanks for listening to Just Your Average Teach podcast. And we'll be back again, and I'm sure he'll be on again, and we'll talk all about this again.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I'm looking forward to this.
Oh hell yeah, dude! All right, well, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to tell your friends, and don't forget, JYAP is where it's at.